They only tend to seek advice from God when the situation has become unbearable. They tend to come to God when they have tried every other thing. In other words, God is not their first option. God is their last resort. Hello everyone and welcome back to Transforming Marriages with Uji Onwuzlige. I am thrilled to be your host today as we share two things I believe you must do first when facing marital problems. Are you ready? No, you're not ready. How did I know you're not ready? Because you have not subscribed to this channel. Can you subscribe to this channel? Thank you very much. I can see you subscribing. Now, let's dive in. Do you know that many married people today, all over the world, can speak to everyone, literally everyone except God, when facing marital problems? They can seek advice from their friends, they can seek advice from their relatives, they can seek advice from social media, they can seek advice from every other sources, but they won't seek advice from God. They only tend to seek advice from God when the situation has become unbearable. They tend to come to God when they have tried every other thing. In other words, God is not their first option. God is their last resort. That shouldn't be. And this is what obtains in many marriages today. When they have issues, when they have challenges in their marriages, they can go all lengths to discuss with their colleagues, share their issues with their colleagues, and of course, what do you expect? They will receive pieces of advice from everyone they have spoken to. But they have not spoken to the one who can change things, who can turn things around in their marriage. So the first thing you have to do when facing marital problems is to talk to God. Run to God and tell him your problems. Run to your room and shut the door and cry to God. Let God know the challenges you are facing. Don't talk to anyone first. Talk to God. Do you know why you have to talk to God? Because the Bible says the heart of the king is in God's hands. So if God can turn around the heart of a king, if God can change the heart of a king for better, how easy do you think it would be for God to change the heart and the mind of your husband? How easy do you think it would be for God to change the heart of your wife? And this is one thing that many people are not doing in their marriages. Whenever you have any issue in your marriage, please run to God first. Cry to God. Tell him exactly how that issue is a big challenge for you. Tell him everything you are facing, everything you are passing through. He will always come for you. But one thing I know is that it might not be possible for you to get your husband or to get your wife to do the right thing. But there is God who is waiting for you to share your issues with him. And one thing with God is this: God cannot interfere in your marital issues if you've not invited him. God is a busy God. He's not a God that is looking for what to do. So when you have issues in your marriage, he expects you to talk to him. But when you do not talk to him, he will just leave you. You'll be wandering about, seeking for solution. where there's no solution. So the first step you need to take when facing marital problems is to talk to God in prayer. Run to Him. Cry to Him. Instead of doing that to a man or a woman that will eventually not provide solutions to you. And then the second thing you have to do when facing marital problems is to do what is called reflective reconciliation. And I'm going to explain that in a layman's language. Now, when you have issues with your spouse, oftentimes what many people don't do is to take a deep reflection, to ponder on what has happened. So, reflective reconciliation is when you take time out to talk to yourself, to say to yourself, how did I behave? How did I talk to my wife that made her to react? How did I talk to my husband that made him to react? Could I have said it in a different way? Could I have approached the issue more creatively? What are those things that I have done that I'm not supposed to do? Oh, I spoke to her harshly. I was disrespectful. I didn't do what I'm supposed to do. I shouldn't have reacted in that manner. I would have given her the opportunity to make her point. So when you take reflective reconciliations, you'll be able to understand the things you have done wrong. And when you are able to understand those things that you've done wrong, what are you expected to do? You are expected to go back to your spouse and tell them, I now realize that what I have done really contributed to the issue that we have. I've realized that I wouldn't have done this in a particular way. That is what taking reflective reconciliation does for you in your marriage. And this is what I expect every couple to be doing. Because what many couples will do is to start apportioning blame to the other spouse without asking themselves, what have I done to contribute to the issue we have at hand? And a lot of times, when you do not take reflective reconciliation, you end up compounding the issues in your marriage that caused the problem in your home. So in this video, I am encouraging you to talk to God first when you are facing marital problems, because He has the power to turn around the heart of your husband, the heart of your wife. He has the power to change their hearts so that they will be able to listen to you, so that they will be able to get things right. The second step you have to take is reflective reconciliation, where you are able to ponder, where you are able to take a sober reflection of the situation, to know where you have done wrong, to know how you have contributed to the marital problems that you have in your home. And when you are able to discover your role, you are expected to go make an amend with your spouse. You are expected to apologize where you have to apologize. You are expected to make peace with your spouse. But you will not be able to do those things if you have not taken a reflective reconciliation approach to the entire thing that happened. When you have issues in your marriage, don't begin to apportion blame to your spouse. That is a wrong thing to do. I used to do that in the time past. But I'm advising you today, going forward, when you have issues in your marriage, look inward first. Ask yourself, have I done something that contributed to the issues that we are having? When you begin to ask yourself that, you will begin to notice that there are so many things that you've been doing that you're not supposed to do. When you begin to take this reflective reconciliation, you will begin to find out that there are so many things that you've done that led to the crisis that you've been having in your marriage. So I urge you today to always talk to God when you are facing marital problems. I urge you today to take reflective reconciliation to know what you have contributed in the conflict that you currently have in your marriage. And when you take these two steps, I believe you'll be able to handle crisis in your marriage, because God will be there for you to see you through. And on the other hand, you'll be able to make amends where you have played a role you're not supposed to play that led to the conflicts that you have in your marriage. I urge you today to take these two steps first whenever you are facing marital crisis. I believe I've added value to you and your marriage. I believe there is something you can do for me. Kindly subscribe to this channel if you have not done that, and also like and comment. I would love to read your comment. Also, don't forget to put on the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my transformative videos. Till I see you next, keep helping your spouse to be the best version of themselves and not the other way around. Enjoy the journey of your marriage.